Tonight on NewsVision, Campus Crackdown. Another Greek life organization has been kicked off campus after allegations of misconduct. We'll tell you why. Plus, all dolled up. One girl has traded in fun for philanthropy by creating her own non-for-profit, and she's only 12.
When you see that smile, they're always so happy and filled with joy, and they just love their dolls so much, and they give me the biggest hug, so it really makes my heart feel good.
Details coming up. And later on, riding for a cause. Hard Rock Stadium is home to Dolphins and Hurricanes football, but this past weekend it was home to the Dolphins Cancer Challenge, one of the biggest fundraisers in South Florida.
Today, it's even personal for me because I have cancer myself. So I'm not only riding to collect money for other individuals who have this dreadful disease, but also knowing that this can help me in the future.
We'll take you there. All that and more coming up. NewsVision starts right now.
That's last year's Greek Week competition where Kappa Sigma and Alpha Delta Pi took home the gold. But now, brothers of the Kappa Sigma fraternity will not have the chance to participate in on-campus events for a while.
Another frat busted for conduct violations. Good evening, I'm Erica Orstad.
And I'm Madison Brown. The Kappa Sigma fraternity at the University of Miami has been terminated.
This comes less than 1 month after another notable fraternity, Zeta Beta Tau, shut down its chapter for similar allegations.
UMTV reporter Rebecca Chung joins us live with more on the story. Rebecca.
Good evening. The Epsilon Beta chapter of Kappa Sigma has certainly made a name on campus, mainly with their big win in last year's Greek Week event. But now the fraternity is in the spotlight for a much different reason. Kappa Sigma has been shut down after an investigation launched by the fraternity's national organization found them guilty of misconduct. Right now, you're seeing images from the fraternity's social media page. The executive committee of Kappa Sigma revoked the chapter's national charter on April 5th. They have about 30 days to appeal the decision. This is the second time the fraternity has been shut down. The frat came back to UM in 2013 after it was expelled in 2009 for hazing. That scandal resulted in the death of freshman Chad Meredith, a soon-to-be fraternity brother. In 2001, Meredith drowned after he took a swim in Lake Osceola during a hurricane warning. A fellow member suggested the idea at a party. The university's vice president of student affairs released a statement earlier this week on the issue. She said this: "The University of Miami consistently communicates a clear set of policies and expectations to all of our Greek organizations that are designed to encourage a safe, healthy, and positive experience for UM students. The Kappa Sigma National Fraternity advised us that while investigating allegations of misconduct, it became clear that the chapter blatantly violated policies of both the fraternity and the university. We therefore support Kappa Sigma's decision to close the chapter at this time." Unfortunately, this is an all too familiar scenario for Greek organizations on the University of Miami's campus. Within the span of a year, the university has lost 3 Greek organizations to allegations of misconduct, one of which was confirmed for hazing. The university's Delta Gamma chapter was suspended last year after a video leaked online of alleged disorderly behavior. In March, the Zeta Beta Tau chapter was shut down for breaking social policies. And now Kappa Sigma joins that rank. Now, usually in these cases, specific details are not made public, but with concerns of hazing and misconduct becoming a larger issue on campus, the question remains how and when university administrators plan to crack down and prevent future incidents from happening. Reporting live for UMTV, I'm Rebecca Chung.
Thanks, Rebecca. An outbreak of hepatitis A has reached South Florida. The Broward County Health Department confirmed 7 cases of hepatitis A since January 1st. This makes Broward, along with Palm Beach and Martin counties, a high-risk zone. Deaths from the disease are rare, but 2 Palm City residents have died after complications. Hepatitis A spreads through objects or through contaminated food or drink.
Tonight, student government hosted its second What Matters to You event featuring a special guest, one that many students may recognize from the movie The Hangover. UMTV reporter Grace Smith is live from the Shalala Student Center where the event happened with details. Grace, who was the special guest?
Thanks, guys. I'm live from the Shalala Student Center outside the ballroom where actor and comedian Dr. Ken Jeong spoke to students as part of the What Matters to You speaker series. The topic was race in film, and a lot of students were touched by the discussion. Check it out.
Especially seeing him coming out with important topics and having me as a semi-Asian American, it really struck to the heart to be able to talk to him or listen to what he was saying and things like that.
For me, it was more like he was telling us how we have to create our own lane. You know, that even if there are like things that maybe a director wants or whatever, it's like it's important to be like authentic and original and do it the way that you want to do it.
The event was hosted by student government in a departure from a traditional lecture format. Instead, it focused on a personalized and interactive discussion forum featuring questions sent in by students and moderated by student representatives. The last speaker to visit campus was actually Bill Nye the Science Guy back in February. And although we don't know when the next event will be or who will be speaking at it, I can promise you I'm already getting ready to reserve my tickets. Live from the Shalala Student Center, I'm Grace Smith. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks so much, Grace. If you stop by the University Student Center today, you may have heard the click-clack sound of heels. University of Miami students and staff joined the worldwide march to end violence against women called Walking a Mile in Her Shoes. Men slipped on red heels to participate in the event. It's held every year in an effort to stop rape, sexual assault, and gender violence. The event was organized by the University Counseling Center and other campus organizations. Proceeds from the event will benefit the Safe Space Foundation.
We're just a few short days away from Earth Day, but at UM, some students have already been celebrating.
The Rathskeller, for one, turned trash into treasure just a few days ago, and UMTV reporter Celine White was there.
People say diamonds are a girl's best friend, but one woman decided trash would be hers. Bobby Brooks runs a company called Trash to Treasure, a company that allows her to use her creativity for a special purpose.
Keeping two things from going into a landfill.
And what are those two things? Plastic and metal. According to National Geographic, in 2018, the journal Science Advances found that of the 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic that has ever been produced, 6.3 billion metric tons have become waste, and 79% is now in landfills.
As trash continues to pile up in our landfills and in our water sources, it's so important that we continue to find unique ways to help decrease our waste. And what better way to do that than to take that trash and turn it into treasure?
So we started to collect gift cards and hotel room keys. And then we also would take from our local bike store, bike chain, and incorporate that into a piece of jewelry.
Brooks is hired to run events at universities. Through the college entertainment agency, Everything But the Mind. Students are then able to design jewelry and keychains, and Brooks assembles it for them. But Brooks does not take credit for this ingenious idea.
And the way Trash to Treasure came about was we had been doing student events, and they were asking if we would be able to maybe do a little bit more to save the planet on some items that normally would be thrown out.
We live in a kind of throwaway society. But I mean, a lot of things that we don't really think of once we're done with them, they do have a lot of uses outside of that.
People need to focus more on the bigger picture stuff, and hopefully when that happens, real change will happen.
And Brooks says anyone can be part of that change.
One individual can certainly make a difference. I think that if everybody had the mindset that their individual efforts make a change, then imagine when we put everybody together what kind of change that can be.
And you can be that one of the many who helps saves the planet, one piece of trash at a time. I am Celine White, reporting for UMTV.
Wow, what a unique way to protect the environment.
Absolutely, Maddie. I would have loved to take some trash out of the ocean and make cool keychains with it.
For sure.
Well, still ahead on NewsVision, one UM administrator is playing games with students. We'll tell you why he's doing it and what you get if you win. Plus,
coming up on NewsVision, we'll introduce you to 12-year-old Zoe Terry, a middle schooler who's changing lives. Plus, we'll tell you why I'm in a giant doll box and why Zoe is an inspiration. Don't go away.
And I'm tracking a major winter storm across the nation's midsection. 4 states are under a blizzard warning. Winds may gust up to 60 miles per hour. Power outages are possible, and over 2 feet of snow will be possible in some areas. I'll discuss that and more, including your full forecast In South Florida, I'll be taking a look at your weekend forecast, as well as when there's the next chance for rain. Stay tuned to NewsVision.
Green hat, red hat, oops. Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt, oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants, oops.
Every young girl deserves a doll, especially one that makes her feel beautiful. And one South Florida middle schooler agrees. She's taking steps to make sure that every girl feels beautiful and comfortable in her own skin.
I love dolls. I mean, I have like a million.
At first glance, 12-year-old Zoe Terry seems like a typical preteen girl. She's interested in fashion, sports, and spending time with her friends. But Zoe is not an ordinary 12-year-old. In fact, she has already accomplished more than some people manage to accomplish their whole life.
So this is Simply Zoe. This is my book.
Zoe wrote a book herself 3 years ago, when she was just 9. She says it was a way to come to terms with certain difficulties.
I cry a lot in this book.
Besides being a published author, Zoe is also a fashionista.
This has been my favorite vest. I really love it. It's like a statement piece, I like to think.
She already has a collection of t-shirts, and she hopes to start her own line of blazers. On top of that, she has received more awards than can fit on a shelf, including a coveted Nickelodeon award.
The Halo Award is probably one of my biggest awards and one of my biggest accomplishments.
The Halo Award stands for Helping and Leading Others, and Zoe is the youngest recipient of the national award. But Zoe is also proud of another award she received, for being on her school's swim team against all odds.
The doctor said I wouldn't be able to swim.
When Zoe was 2 years old, her mom took her to the doctor after noticing Zoe was dragging her right foot.
He found out that I had a stroke, and I had to go through like 6 years of physical therapy, speech therapy, and they said I wouldn't be able to swim, ride a bike, do jumping jacks, do like normal physical activities that kids do.
But Zoe didn't want to give up doing the physical activities that most kids her age take for granted. So she learned how to swim so she could join the swim team.
I was the worst swimmer on the team, obviously.
But that didn't stop her. And her stroke is not the only thing Zoe has overcome in her short life. She has managed to fight and win a battle against bullying in a unique way.
She was 5, and she came home and some things transpired. She wanted to really put in extensions in her hair to make it longer, and she wanted her skin to be lighter, and I was like, what's happening here? And found out that there was some bullying happening.
It turned out another girl was teasing Zoe for the way she looked. But Zoe found a way to feel beautiful. She played with dolls.
When I really looked at my doll, I saw my image and I knew that I was beautiful and that I was special.
And that's how Zoe started Zoe's Dolls, an organization that gives dolls to girls to help them feel beautiful.
Hello, my name is Zoe. If I have a birthday party, instead of gifts, I ask people to bring in new brown dolls of color.
You just give them away?
We just give them out. Yeah, so people donate new dolls and we give them out.
Since Zoe started Zoe's Dolls 7 years ago, she has given away more than 20,000 dolls to girls all over the world. She says that the holidays are the busiest and the most gratifying time for Zoe's Dolls.
Some girls may not receive a Christmas gift or a doll that really looks like them, So when you see that smile, they're always so happy and filled with joy, and they just love their dolls so much, and they give me the biggest hug, and I'm a big hugger, so I love that. So it really makes my heart feel good.
Let's go bye-bye.
7-year-old Esther Bertrand is one girl who Zoe has impacted. Esther has one word to describe how receiving dolls from Zoe makes her feel.
Happy?
On top of giving dolls away, Zoe also organizes doll fashion shows where girls get to model outfits by walking out of a giant doll box. Today, Zoe is busy with studying, writing her second book, managing Zoe's dolls, and working on designing her very own doll. She says she also worked things out with the girl who once bullied her.
We're cool now, we're not best buds, but we're cool now.
And she encourages everyone to be positive and believe in yourself.
Just be nice and kind, because you never know what someone is going through. But I also feel how my mission can help that, is that you have self-confidence in yourself. We should celebrate our differences and we should love each other.
Wise words from a very wise 12-year-old girl on a mission to make the world a better place. For Zoe, the sky is the limit and she has high hopes for her future. After creating her own doll and fashion line, Zoe might make her way into public service. Since participating in Model UN at school, she says she fell in love with politics. We'll certainly be cheering her on no matter what she does next.
And Miami celebrated all the colors of the rainbow last week as part of Miami Pride Week, one of the largest LGBTQ pride festivals in the country, encouraging residents to be comfortable in their own skin, no matter how they identify.
The colors on the rainbow signify every different personality, every trait, and it's not just about a gay, it's not about putting yourself in a category, in a box. It's about celebrating who you are as a person.
And residents like him got to celebrate in all kinds of ways with family-friendly activities and the big parade capping off the week on Sunday. 145,000 people attended last year's Pride Festival. This year, that number was expected to be even higher.
Well, it looked like a beautiful day for a Pride Festival.
Definitely, and Jackson Dill's here to tell us exactly what we can expect for this weekend. Jackson.
Yeah, beautiful weather is ahead this weekend. Let's first take a look at current conditions out there. It's still quite toasty out here in South Florida. Miami just dropped below 80 degrees, but it's right down there at 79, 80 in West Palm Beach. Also 80 in Key West, where it's a bit warmer down by those warm waters that surround the region. So radar satellite right now is pretty clear. We saw those cumulus clouds that popped up midday across the interior of the Florida Panhandle, but that sea breeze that developed midday pushed those clouds further inland, so that's why it's been very nice and sunny closer to the coast, like here in Coral Gables. Meanwhile, across the nation's midsection, we're tracking this very large storm system that's currently affecting the northern plains and upper Midwest. Check out this wide swath of heavy snow, especially in Minnesota. And we're going to see the storm system moving to the north and east into tomorrow. And so while that snow moves out as we get into your Saturday, there's going to be strong winds blowing on the back of this low pressure as well as very cold air. Heavy snowfall is going to be there, widespread 8 to 12 inches in this darker shade of blue. Fargo is going to be looking at around 8 inches, and that's still snow to come on top of the snow that's already fallen down. So the snowstorm's still happening, and there's still a lot more snow to come, especially across northern Minnesota. I just want to talk briefly about this new storm that's going to develop as this first one exits out of the region. Southern Plains is going to have to watch out for severe storms this Saturday. Large hail, damaging winds, and even a few tornadoes will be possible from the Arklatex into the lower Mississippi River Valley. So you're going to keep your guard up this weekend, especially if you have any outdoor plans. Back here at home, it's going to be a great weekend for any outdoor activities. I know I'm going to be heading to the beach this weekend because it's going to be very nice outside. Hazy, hot, and humid is going to be the story, especially on Saturday with the generally sunny skies. We're going to have that nice onshore flow with high temperatures getting up to around 80 degrees. Now, as we get into Sunday, we're going to see a few more showers possible as that cold front approaches, but before then, it's going to be nice and dry. Tonight, 73 is the low, mostly clear skies. Winds will be 10 to 15 miles per hour, so it'll be quite pleasant out there. And as we get into tomorrow, it's going to be pretty similar as this Thursday with a high temperature of 83 degrees. A few more clouds may be around, but it's not going to be too noticeable. The UV index is also going to be up to a 12, so you're going to want to make sure you put on some sunscreen because you will get burnt fast. Here's your 7-day forecast. Next few days are going to be nice and sunny, high temperatures right around the 83-degree mark. We're going to see that cold front move through on Monday with thunderstorms possible before that clears out for the rest of the week. I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jackson. Looking forward to some nice weather this weekend. But switching gears now, the UM Dean of Students is getting ready to take students down in a friendly household game that everyone knows and loves, dominoes. Dean Ryan Holmes is offering an opportunity for students to engage in a one-on-one interaction over a game of dominoes. The fun contest has home roots for the Dean as he plays with his family at every get-together.
And until we have those conversations, we don't know what parts of my life story may actually be beneficial to someone else. And so I just believe in building that relationship, building a community, understanding that students can teach me things and I can learn from their stories. And why not have it happen over some dominoes?
Dean Holmes will walk people through the game for beginners, or if you're a pro, he'll make you feel like you're a beginner. And if you win, Dean Holmes buys you lunch. Students can sign up for a session with the Dean by emailing doso@miami.edu.
I think the only time I've ever played dominoes is when I knocked them down as a kid.
Definitely. I don't know how to play dominoes at all, so maybe Dean Holmes can teach me a trick or two.
Maybe. Still ahead on NewsVision. Thousands of people running and biking this weekend, and it was all for a good cause. We'll take you to the Dolphins Cancer Challenge.
And don't forget to join UMTV later tonight for a taping of our late night comedy show, Off the Wire. It gets underway in just a few minutes at 8 o'clock in Studio C. Biscadence is their special musical guest. We hope to see you there.
We left this bag unattended in the dining hall and set up hidden cameras to see what would happen. It only took 14 seconds. If only it were this easy to spot a thief. Remember, keep it with you. Keep it safe.
Maybe he's really focused.
Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today.
We left these two phones unattended in the wellness center and set up hidden cameras to see what would happen. It only took 13 seconds. If only it were this easy to spot a thief. Remember to lock before you lift.
Thanks for staying with us here on NewsVision. I'm Dave Downey. Let's talk some sports. The Hurricanes baseball team boasts a 22-12 record overall, but just a 6-7 standing in ACC conference play. They will get a chance to get to 500 in the ACC this weekend against the Virginia Cavaliers. The Canes have won 4 of their last 5 contests against FSU and Florida Gulf Coast, and they'll be looking to continue the hot stretch in Charlottesville this coming weekend. Dwayne Wade's final game of the AAA finally came on Tuesday against the Philadelphia 76ers. He finished with 30 points in front of a sold-out crowd there at the AAA as he scorched the Sixers 122-99. After the game, D-Wade thanked the fans on top of the scorers table and, of course, received a standing O. Heat legends Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway Sr., and Shaq himself were on hand to witness his one last dance. First-round action from the Masters today is in the books. The first major golf tournament of the year at Augusta National features some of the biggest names in golf on the biggest stage. Back-to-back U.S. Open champion Brooks Koepka and young phenom Bryson DeChambeau are currently on top at 6 under par. Phil Mickelson is one back at -5 as birdies on 3 of his final 4 holes vaulted lefty up the leaderboard. Tiger Woods held the lead for a brief time earlier this afternoon, but he unfortunately sits 4 behind Koepka and DeChambeau after finishing firing of 2 under 70. The Dolphins and Canes are well into their off seasons, but thousands of people were at Hard Rock Stadium for a different reason last weekend. They were there for the Fins' biggest fundraiser of the year, the Dolphin Cancer Challenge. UMTV's Noel Beretta was there.
Making an impact is what the Dolphin Cancer Challenge does. It's an annual event organized by the DCC Foundation to raise funds for cancer research for the University of Miami's Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. which is one of the leading cancer treatment facilities in the country. The event consisted of over 5,000 cyclists and runners who took off from Boca Raton, Miami Gardens, Davie, Fort Lauderdale, and Coral Gables, and at the end, all crossed the same finish line at the Hard Rock Stadium.
Today, it's even personal for me because I have cancer myself. So I'm not only riding to collect money for other individuals who have this dreadful disease, but also knowing that this can help me in the future.
According to the American Cancer Society, 1 in 3 people around the world would suffer from some form of cancer in their lifetime.
Cancer does affect everyone, really. Everyone knows someone generally that's had either cancer or died.
Caroline Shipman attended the event last year in memory of her family. What she did not realize is that she was also riding for herself.
I remember, hundreds of people riding for the DCC, and I waved them off and took pictures of them, and I look back now and think that you were riding and you had breast cancer and we didn't know it.
I don't smoke, I don't drink, relatively healthy, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you've got breast cancer. It's like, really? But it was a shock.
My cancer fighters, are you ready? Yes! I need it better than that. My cancer fighters, are you ready to ride 35 miles? All right, that's better.
We'll ride for all those people. I'll ride for all the people who've donated money to me in memory of their families who, sadly, some of them have passed from cancer. But we ride to support the people who helped us.
The DCC ended this year's challenge with over $3.8 million raised. That would help researchers continue their fight to find a cure for cancer, once and for all. I am Noah Beretta reporting for UMTV.
What a great game by and for the Canes at our home stadium,
I actually know someone who biked 100 miles there this weekend.
Oh my goodness, well that's so cool, Madison. Stay with us. NewsVision will be right back.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Just another wacky day here in the Sunshine State when a 17-foot Burmese python is found near the Everglades, weighing a whopping 140 pounds, and not only that, it was carrying 73 eggs. The snake was found using new technology used to track this species, which is invasive and harmful to the Everglades ecosystem.
And not as invasive, but definitely just as Florida as it gets when a massive 9-foot alligator is found in a Palm Beach Gardens pool. Just your typical Monday morning here in Florida this week when this family woke up to find the gator hanging out at the bottom of their pool. Wildlife officials showed up needing bigger gear than they thought, and after 20 minutes they were able to get the gator out of the pool and into a pickup. Officials say the gator will be relocated.
Can you imagine walking outside to that?
Actually, Maddie, I can. I grew up here, so that is definitely a common occurrence in South Florida.
I went to the pool earlier today to not see a gator in there, so I'm very happy to not see that.
You can't pay me enough to get a gator out of a pool.
Well, welcome to Florida, guys.
Well, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
We're back next week, but first, be sure to join Off the Wire at 8 o'clock in Studio C.
And we leave you with a look at some of our pets as we celebrate National Pet Day.
Yay.